Some houses don't echo footsteps. They remember them. The move-in. Amelia had just moved into a quiet neighborhood. The rent was cheap. The house was old. Too old. Her friends warned her. Oliver said, "Places like that always come with history." Sophie laughed. "You watch too many horror movies." But Amelia needed space. And silence. The first night was peaceful. No strange sounds. No shadows. Just rain tapping softly on the windows. Until 3:12 a.m. She woke up to the sound of someone walking upstairs. Slow. Heavy. Step, step, step. Amelia sat up in bed, holding her phone. "Hello?" she whispered. No answer. She checked every room. The house was empty. The whispering walls. Over the next few days, strange things began to happen. Her mirror fogged up even when no one used hot water. Doors she closed were suddenly open. And every night at exactly 3:12 a.m., the footsteps returned. One evening, Oliver came over. He walked through the hallway and stopped. "Amelia, why are there handprints on your wall?" She turned. Small handprints. Child-sized. But Amelia lived alone. Sophie tried to joke. "Maybe it's just old paint." But Amelia could feel it. The house wasn't empty. It was watching. The recording. That night, Amelia decided to record the sounds. She placed her phone on the stairs. At 3:12 a.m., the footsteps started. The air became cold. Her breath turned visible. Then a whisper. Not loud. Not clear. Just enough to make her skin crawl. The next morning, she played the recording. At first, only footsteps. Then a voice. A child's voice saying, "Why did you leave me here?" Amelia dropped her phone. She searched the house records online. What she found made her heart stop. 20 years ago, a little girl had disappeared inside this very house. Never found. Declared dead. Amelia noticed something she hadn't before. A small door behind the staircase. She was sure it hadn't been there earlier. Her hands shook as she opened it. Basement stairs. Dark. Cold air rising upward. She turned on her flashlight. At the bottom, tiny shoe, dust-covered toys, and scratch marks on the walls. Deep, desperate. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind her. The light flickered, and she heard breathing. Right next to her ear. A soft voice whispered, "You came back." She screamed. Oliver and Sophie rushed over after Amelia's panic call. They found her sitting on the street outside the house. Barefoot. Shaking. She refused to go back inside. Later that night, police searched the basement. They found remains behind the walls. The little girl had been trapped. Left to die. But here's the part no one can explain. When Oliver reviewed Amelia's recording again, there were two voices. Not one. The child. And an adult. Calm. Slow. Whispering. "She can see us now." Because Amelia wasn't the first tenant. And she won't be the last. Some houses don't need locks. They already own you. Some mirrors don't just reflect. They remember. And they wait. Thomas bought an antique mirror from a flea market on Hawthorne Lane. It was beautiful. An ornate golden frame with small cracks. The shopkeeper warned, "Some mirrors show more than yourself." Thomas laughed. But when he brought it home, something felt off. First, nothing happened. But when he looked closely, sometimes the reflection lagged. A shadow moving differently than him. His younger sister, Lily, came to visit. She stared into the mirror. "Tom! The lady behind you," she whispered. Thomas turned. No one was there. Later that night, he started having nightmares. The mirror showing a dark figure standing behind him, closer each time he blinked. Detective Carter arrived after Thomas called. She inspected the mirror. "Mirrors have been used in occult rituals," she explained. "They can trap energy. Sometimes spirits." Thomas tried to get rid of it. threw it in the garden, smashed it. But every morning, the mirror was back inside the house, perfectly intact. One night, Thomas saw the figure clearly. A pale woman, eyes black, mouth sewn shut. Her hands pressed against the inside of the mirror, like she was trying to escape. She whispered, "Thomas, help me." He touched the glass. Cold, as cold. The reflection shifted. Suddenly, he was inside the mirror. Lily ran into the room. The mirror showed two people trapped inside. She smashed it with all her strength. Glass shattered. A scream echoed. And then, silence. Thomas and the woman were gone. Only black shards remained. Detective Carter shook her head. Sometimes, breaking it isn't enough. At night, people walking past Hawthorne Lane still report seeing a dark figure behind broken glass. A warning for those who stare too long. Some mirrors don't just reflect, they take. Some places never let you leave. They remember every scream, every cry, every soul. Jack and his friend Clara were urban explorers. Their target, an abandoned psychiatric hospital on the outskirts of Birmingham.
Locals whisperat.
Patients disappeared here. No one ever found them. The gates were rusted. Graffiti everywhere. Broken windows staring like empty eyes. Inside, the air smelled of mold and decay. Every step echoed through empty halls. They found old patient files scattered on the floor. One file caught Jack's attention. Name, Eleanor Hargrove. Date of death, 1974. A chill ran down his spine. Clara laughed nervously. "Are you seriously scared of dead papers?" But then, they heard a faint sound. A voice calling, "Help me." No one was there. Jack found a locked door at the end of a hallway. Strangely, the keyhole was glowing faintly. He unlocked it. Inside, beds lined up, covered in dust, rusty medical equipment, and a shadowy figure at the far end. "Dr. Hargrove?" Jack whispered. The figure slowly turned. Hollow eyes, pale skin, twisted smile. The doors slammed shut behind them. The hospital seemed alive. Walls shifted. Corridors stretched endlessly. Jack and Clara tried to escape, but every hallway led back to the same ward. Dr. Hargrove's ghost whispered, "You shouldn't be here. You belong with us now." The files on the floor flipped open on their own. Patient names glowing red. Clara screamed, "They're waiting." Morning came. Locals found the hospital gates closed. Inside, empty. No sign of Jack or Clara, except for two things. The faint echo of whispers, "Welcome home." Their photos in the patient files, dated today. Some say the hospital still calls for visitors. Those who enter rarely return, and those who leave are never the same. Some places are not abandoned. They are waiting for you. Hidden deep within the rolling hills of the English countryside lies a village that most maps don't even show. A place where the fog never seems to lift, and where locals whisper of a darkness that never dies. This is Hobbs End, a village abandoned, but not empty. Tonight, we explore its chilling secrets, and the horrors that still linger there. Hobbs End wasn't always abandoned. In the late 1800s, it was a thriving village. Farmers, craftsmen, and families lived simple lives, until strange events began to unfold. It started with the disappearances. Children vanishing without a trace, livestock found mutilated in the fields, and an old church clock that would ring at midnight, even when no one was near. Locals whispered of a curse. Some said it was the work of witches. Others believed the land itself had turned against them. By the early 1900s, most families had fled, leaving only the silent buildings and a chilling emptiness. Behind the village lies Hobbs Wood, a forest so dense and dark, even the bravest dare not enter after dusk. Those who did reported hearing whispers, voices calling their names, footsteps following them, and shadowy figures glimpsed from the corner of their eyes. One man, a historian named Edward Blake, ventured into the forest in 1922, determined to document the village's history. He never returned. Locals claimed his ghost wanders still, seen through the fog, carrying a lantern that flickers like a dying heartbeat. Even today, Hobbs End is not completely forgotten. Urban explorers and paranormal investigators have dared to stay overnight. Reports describe objects moving on their own, whispers in empty rooms, and an overwhelming sense of being watched. Some claimed to see a figure in Victorian clothing standing silently in the village square, vanishing when approached. Others woke to find symbols etched into the walls, symbols that matched old grimoires from the 1800s. Legend tells of a woman named Agnes Hobbs, accused of witchcraft in the 17th century. She was said to have cursed the land before being executed. Her final words were whispered into the wind. "May this place remember me, and never let peace dwell here." Whether or not her curse is real, locals swear the village carries her presence. Strange lights appear at night, fires ignite spontaneously, and the fog itself seems alive, curling around anyone who dares enter. Investigators have recorded screams that echo through the empty streets, objects levitating, and sudden drops in temperature. Some equipment even stops working when near certain buildings. A group of paranormal enthusiasts documented a chilling moment, a small child's laughter echoing in a completely empty cottage, followed by the faint sound of doors slamming. They left immediately, never to return. Hobbs End stands as a reminder that some darkness never fades, that history can leave scars on the land itself. Whether it is the curse of Agnes Hobbs, the spirits of those who vanished, or something even stranger, one thing is certain: the village is not at rest. And for anyone who dares to enter its fog-shrouded streets, the shadows are waiting. Will you dare to visit Hobbs End? Subscribe for more true British horror stories, if you dare.